guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So today I'm going to do something a little different. Today I'm going to do a tattoo tour. That's right. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the regrets, my pain tolerance, how I feel about it, and if I would have changed it and that kind of thing. So if you would like to see my tattoos and hear about my piercings, then go ahead and stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so I've had a few of my wonderful supporters out there reach out onto a few of my videos stating that they want to see or know about my tattoos. So I said, okay, I'll do a tattoo tour. So here you go. This is for you guys. All right, so starting off, I have to say that my very first tattoo was when I was 21. I did wait until I was 21, but back then, we didn't have the technology that we do today. So our cell phones were not very smart. They were not smartphones. They did not take good pictures. The only way to have pictures, if you took it from your camera, you take in the film, you get it disposed, and it pick up your pictures and you actually have them in paper form. So my very first few tattoos, they're all in photo form, and I don't have any of my photos here. They're all in California, safe and sound. So I don't have access to them. So I'm gonna have to show you pictures of how they currently look, which they looked so much better when I first got them done, let me just tell you. But okay, so my first tattoo was of two dolphins. At that time, I was infatuated with dolphins. My comforter was dolphins. I put puzzles together and glued them and put them on the walls. I had anything and everything that I could think of in dolphins. I had an end table where the dolphin's nose came up out of the glass. I mean, I loved blue. I mean, I still do like blue, but now it's more teal blue. So still in the blue family. But I went and got two dolphins jumping out on my lower back. And I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. I do not have a tramp stamp. I have a tattoo on my lower back. That's all it is. It is a tattoo on a spot of my body, and it's not called anything else. I take offense to that. So when I went into this local tattoo shop, again, I was 21 years old. I thought, you know, that's a perfect spot because I didn't want anything too revealing. When I was 19, I opened up my own flower shop. I ran my own business for a few years, and I'm sorry, but at that time, the older generation looked down on the younger generation that had tattoos, and they looked down upon it. It was unfortunate, but that's how it was, and it's more open and easily acceptable now. So now, of course, I ventured to farther areas. But back then, I was trying to stay conservative and kind of keep them all covered up. So I did it on my lower back, and when the guy started, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I was literally sitting on the back of a chair. He is behind me, obviously. So when he started, I was gripping that chair. I was holding it so tight. I was just like, oh my God, how long is this gonna take? And it was about like an hour and a half total, I believe. And that was at the time the most excruciating pain that I had put myself through. And I told myself, okay, you've done this. You can say you have a tattoo now. You went through the experience. You've experienced it. You're done. You're not getting another one. It hurt so freaking bad. It was very, very bad. So after a few months, I kind of forgot about the pain, and anytime I was trying to look at it, it just looked a little plain. So I went to a different tattoo shop, and I wanted some really cool water and this really badass design, which was like a half of sun and a half of a moon. The sun had like flames for the rays. The moon had some cool clouds, and it was just really, really cool. The guy's like, nope, it's not gonna happen. What do you mean it's not gonna happen? That's what I want. It's what I came in here for. He's like, no, his lame ass excuses about it not gonna look good in the future. Well, what he did, it looks horrible now. So he probably couldn't do it, is probably the problem. So long story short, he convinced me to do these funky little tribal waves in this funky sun that I have currently. And I will drop that photo in here. So that is what it currently looks like right now. So again, the dolphins was my first tattoo. I went back, added the water and the sun. And when he's doing it, everything started coming back to me like, oh, I remember why I said I wasn't gonna get another tattoo. I'm holding on to the thing again. I'm hoping and wishing this is gonna just hurry up. And I told myself again, okay, you're done, really, you're done. So a little time goes by, and again, I forget about the pain, and I'm like, maybe I should try a different part of my body. So at the time I was married, and we got matching star with little flame tattoos, and I thought, okay, here we go, my back again. But that particular part of my back, it didn't hurt at all. That was a breeze. That was the easiest tattoo I have ever had now, so far, my third one, which I cover up, thankfully, and I will show you I got a few more tattoos to talk about first, and then I will tell you about my cover up that I covered up. So that was my third. That one was so easy, and I'm like, okay, cool. So it's just different parts of my body. So I just kept on going. So my next tattoo after that was these wings and halo. I'll show you how they kind of looked back then. This is the first photo that I could find. It wasn't fresh, but at least it looks a little bit different than it does now. So that looks like this. And then currently, right now, it looks like this. And I'm very, very disappointed in how these healed and how it looks, because I wanted the halo to be really nice and the wings to be so beautiful, because this was a memorial tattoo. I lost a baby, and it was probably my one and only chance to have a child in my life. And it was not only the most devastating and horrific and just horrible experience in my life, it was just, it hit me hard, and it took me a very long time to be able to kind of move forward from that. So I wanted these beautiful wings and a halo to be on my back, just to represent, you know, what I could have had, and just a memorial tattoo. And I'm extremely, extremely disappointed in how they look right now. So I will at some point be going to have somebody touch these guys up and make them look a lot better and beautiful the way that I've envisioned them. So yeah, so that's a future update that I will have to do. So then after that, I went to my arms. So I'll go ahead and show you my first arm. Now it's like this. When I started, I went in for just this butterfly with the purple flames, and that's all that I had. I had none of this. Then it looked plain, and I went back and added this flower just to that dark green spot right there. That was it. Then it looked too plain, and I went back and added this fairy and that fairy. And both of these fairies had, and they don't anymore, but had like glow in the dark ink in it. So whenever I'd go to Spencer's or anywhere there's a black light, I'm always all looking to see if they were still glowing. And they did for a while, just it's not there anymore. So I added the two fairies on both sides, and then it looked plain, and I went back and added like this wind motion and the 3 stars, which he butchered. So I have like a lot missing, and I scarred. Then I went back and I added this. Now, a lot of people do not know what this is until I tell them. So I don't know if you know what that is. If you do know what this is without me telling you, you are one of the very few ever. But this is a skull. This is the eyes. It's supposed to be going in one eye and out the other. And he banged this out like it, oh man, this did not heal right. Almost all the color came out. It was gonna be like a dark green. And now it's this, and it's scarred, and even like the wind in here, like in my stretch mark area, this was very, very bad. This scarred too. So this whole thing needs to get touched up and brought back to life, made better. I am not happy with this whole thing here. I'm not happy with none of this right here. So doing my arm, it didn't hurt as bad. Now, okay, so my lower back hurt. My star was a breeze. In between my shoulder blades for my wing and halo, it hurt, but I was able to tolerate the pain. Like it wasn't like my lower back where I was just like trying to tap out. It was tolerable, but it still hurt. I mean, it's a tattoo, it is what it is. My arm probably felt about the same as my wings and halo. It was tolerable. It wasn't that bad. It was enough to where, you know, I felt it and I'm trying to not feel it. The same with this arm, the same exact feelings. This arm I started, don't look at that guy yet. This arm I started with just my my cherry skulls. I had a purse that had them and I loved it, and so I went and had him just do my skull cherry, which I love. They just need to be brightened up, brought back to life. So I did those. Then I thought it was too plain, and I went back and added all of these cards, the 2 dice, and then the flames. This has a hidden skull and the flames here, and it has a hidden skull in this, the smoke, when I went back again and added the 2 guns down here. So the guns weren't there at first, it was just that. Then I added the guns to make it lower, and he added the hidden skull right here. This I like. At the time I was a huge into casinos. I had to like ban myself from the casino. I spent way too much money and got too much debt when I was younger. But at the time I was going to the casino a lot. So this was the inspiration, the cards and the dice anyway, of my casino ventures. This was just because I thought it was cool, and then that was just to add something to the bottom to kind of make it one piece. So it kind of looked okay. So then I started on my shoulder, or my front of my shoulders, whatever you call this. So my first one here would be, I went and added my scorpion first. I am a Scorpio, that is my sign. So that's why I got the scorpion. Then I went back and had him add in. This was supposed to be like a desert scene. It's supposed to be like desert cracking, but this is brown or black. Desert floor is not black. The scorpion looked a lot better when it was first done. It was a lot more black to it. It looked a little bit more realistic than it does right now. Right now it just faded to a blue, and scorpions are not light blue. But, and then my sun rays being like that, I don't know. So this is going to be a future touch up probably at times. And then this side, so I just had the pumpkin right here. And then I went and added my favorite, Jack 0, and then the moon with the bats. Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. My whole kitchen theme is Nightmare Before Christmas. I have posters in my hallway of Nightmare Before Christmas. I have a cuckoo clock of Nightmare Before Christmas. I have like every board game they made. My Christmas theme is all Nightmare Before Christmas. I made my own hand painted ornaments, and I do a cool ass tree. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. So this is like my top faves of my tattoos. So there's that one. Then one time right before I moved from California, moved to Florida, I went in to have my touch-up, but hold on, I gotta do my wrists first. I forgot about that. So then once this guy kind of like went, and when he was doing this felt like he was on like the side of my neck. When he was doing it, it hurt like over here. I'm like, are you on the side of my neck? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, and it feels like you are on the side of my neck. So this part hurt the worst. When it got down into the bottom part down here, it hurt, but up here was, again, I was able to tolerate it. Same thing with this side. The more down here and into like my armpit area hurt more than the other parts. But the very top, I was feeling pain like other places, which was weird. But again, every place of your body is different. Everyone's pain tolerance is always going to be different. So this is just what I experienced in mine. So since this stuck out in pretty much every shirt that I wore, you could see this. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Let me go to my wrist. So I just did the 2 sparrows on my wrist, which looked like this at first. Then they looked a little plain because all my other tattoos were full color. So I went back and had him add color, and he did this. And that I was not proud of. I thought they looked more like primary colors just from a crayon box, just like the bright blue, and then the bright, was it, oh yeah, the bright red, the bright yellow, and the bright blue. I needed some lighter contrast in there. It didn't look right to me. So right before I moved, we went to, me and my cousin and her daughter went to this one tattoo shop. She got some big old piece on her side, and I went in, and all I wanted the guy was to color in my 2 birds to make it lighter, bring in lighter colors, add in a little bit of grass, a flower. One was gonna have a locket, one was gonna have a key, and some whoop-de-woos is what I called it, just like some wind motion or just something to kind of tie them in together. Well, so this I did later. Let me see if I can show you. So my locket, he butchered. Like, it's so muddy and it looks so horrible. And then this one for the key, he did the same thing. It's all muddy. I mean, you could kind of see it's a key, but the detail is gone. You do not see it. And then my whoop-de-woos, like, this is the side of my arm. That is not my wrist. Same with this side. Let me see. Same with this side. That is not my wrist. That is my arm that he put them on. And he's like, oh, they'll fade into a light color. No, they didn't. They're still just as black as they were when he did it. This particular place, I really, really wish we did not go to. They had like a special for 8 hours, and the first guy, all he had to do again was color in the birds to make them lighter, add the other stuff around it, and that's it. How long do you think it would have taken him to do that? Did anybody guess? 6.5 hours? Yes, 6.5 hours it took him. And it looks like crap. His lines are so thick, like you can almost feel them. And my flower even, let's see if you can, oh, come on. How can I get you to see my flower? There we go. My flower even has thick lines, and it looks horrible. When he was finally done, I had to go to another guy to do my cover up. The one I was telling you about, like, I covered up the star. That guy only really had about an hour and a half to do the drawing, put it on, and do it. Now it's a cover up. Like, he should have had the 6.5 hours, and the other guy should have only had the hour and a half to just do that minimal of work. But he must have been new and wet under the collar. I don't know, but I will never be back to that place or ever get tattooed by either one of them, just because of the whole experience. But anyway, the star, I thought the best thing to cover it up with is a stargazer lily, because it's the same shape. You won't be able to see it. My mom loves stargazer lilies, and her favorite color is purple. So I had them do it a purple, so then it would be a dark color to cover everything up, and that now looks like this. Star. When I got that tattooed, the guy was literally leaning over me, laying on the table and like banging it out. Like, oh my gosh, like that one probably was the worst. I remember looking over at my cousin, who's already done with her big old side piece at this point, and I'm looking at them in the window and I'm like, is he almost done? Like, I wanted to tap out. Then he added the green around it, like that wasn't even part of the plan. And that part is when I almost literally told him, you need to stop. Like, he ended up hitting the mole. My mole filled up, like it got inflamed almost like a grape. Like that was the worst. That was worse than my lower back, my neck, my foot. That was the, hands down, that was the worst one. It didn't hurt when I first got the first one, but when he was doing the cover up and just banging in color, mind you, he only had that hour and a half, so he was trying to hurry up and get through it. That was the worst one. So I am so glad you do not see the star anymore. That is one regret of mine, was getting a matching tattoo with somebody that I was in a relationship with, because as soon as that ended, the first thing I wanted to do was get rid of it. Now I need to do one more, but it was with a friend relationship, a female friend that I was friends with for over 20 years. We went and got a matching tattoo on our neck. I forgot about that one. That was before I moved. That one was probably 15 years ago, actually. We went and got a Chinese symbol, which meant friendship. there was a pink heart for her favorite color and a blue heart for my favorite color. So hers had the pink one first and the blue, and then mine had the blue one first and then the pink, and then the same symbol in the middle, and that looks like this currently. And if any of you guys have any suggestions on what I could cover this up with, what would look good to cover this up, please, please, please let me know, because this is the next cover up, because that's another thing that I need off of me, to not remember a friendship that I no longer have. Anybody, if you have suggestions, comment down below. Let me know something that I can put over it. I can't think of anything that would cover it correctly and look good on my neck. So that's my future one. I'll tell you guys once I get that one done. But going back to this guy when I left California. So I left California, my first visit back, me and my cousin went and got tattoos together, and we got a peacock feather with flowers on our foot. I absolutely love this. It looks like this. This one is on my top faves that I absolutely love, and this one I don't want to do anything with. I mean, eventually I might have to go in and have a little bit more brighter colors put in, because the colors probably will fade, especially being on my foot where I wear shoes every single day. So that might be where I just need to add, just brighten up some colors at some point, but I'm never gonna get that one touched up. It doesn't need anything. That one is perfect. Hers looks exactly the same. I think hers was on the opposite foot because she already had something on the foot that I got mine on, but ours are exactly the same, and we have matching ones, and I absolutely love that. So at that time, I had the guy add, this says hope. It's an H-O, that's a heart, P-E. This is the black Cancer ribbon, because my mom, such a strong and beautiful woman, the most strongest person that I will ever know in my life. She is a melanoma skincare survivor. As of right now, thank God, I just really hope nothing ever comes back, but this I put on my wrist to remind myself of how delicate life is, and how anything can change to anybody at a drop of a hat, and just appreciate life. Like, you just have to. And so this I did in appreciation for my mom surviving her melanoma cancer. So I got that, and at the same time I went ahead and added this infinity with TM. This is my current boyfriend of right now 6 years. This is his initials, and so I added that to this part. So both wrists are now pretty much filled in. So then when I went back to visit this coming up February, I went back out to visit my mom for her birthday, and me and my cousin went to the tattoo shop, and we got this guy. This one I got here. Her and her daughter got the same one on their ankle. They didn't want it in this place. So this is probably the most one that I get compliments on, because I am in retail and I give people money and I hand them stuff, grab their card, and it seems like they see this one way before this one, which I will tell you about next. But this one I absolutely love. It's very cute, just half devil, half angel. That's how we are. We could be the sweetest person in the world, but you cross us, better watch out. So this one was just a fun thing that we did matching when I went out there. I absolutely love it. The next one I got was this. It has the heart, or the heart with the gem with the teal greens and blues, because those are my favorite colors, and then the key with the same gem on it, and then the ribbon goes down and ends in this bird's mouth. I thought that would kind of bring them two together. I absolutely love this particular tattoo. This one was probably the least hurtful one that I have on me. This one was a breeze. I just was, wait, you really doing it? Like, I literally had to keep looking to make sure he was really doing it, not just drawing on my arm. Like, this one was the best, and so I can't wait to do this arm eventually. This one's already looking a little bare right here. I was thinking of doing like realistic butterflies, starting here, skipping over, and then finishing up. Not sure yet, but it's looking a little bare, so I'm already trying to think of something else to add to it. The top of my foot though, that one hurt almost as bad as my neck. My neck hurt really bad. I would say as far as pain tolerance level, my lower back that I was telling you hurt the worst. My neck and the top of my foot was on that same type of level. I was able to handle it, but it was not pleasant at all. And then so those are probably the on my top, like that hurt the worst spots was the top of my foot, the back of my neck, and my lower back. Those 3 spots, definitely. Everything else was mediocre. It is what it is. I mean, it's a tattoo. It is what it is. My least would be my forearm and then my wrists, and those were the easiest ones. So that is all of my tattoos that I have. Definitely let me know if you know anything to cover up my neck. My other ones just need to be touched up, brought back to life. Once I'm finally done with all of that, then I can move on and keep adding new pieces. But for right now, I want to get what I do have looking better, so I feel better with it being on my body. My regrets are not planning ahead. With my arm, I would get one and then get one and then get one and then try to tie all these little things together that do not make sense. I wish I would have planned it out and did a whole sleeve of Nightmare Before Christmas. I would be badass if I could have a whole sleeve of Nightmare Before Christmas. I can't do that now because I have mixtures of all this other stuff put on both of my arms. So I wish I would have planned them out. So if you're on the fence and you're trying to figure out what you should do, if you're gonna put it in a part of your body where you think you're gonna add to it, think ahead and already plan your adding to it, because I didn't do that, and my little add this was not good. And I really, really wish I would have planned ahead, which I didn't know at the time. I thought, oh cool, this one little thing, it's hidden, then it looked bare. Oh, let me add this and then let me add this and then it just wasn't. I wish I would have did it differently. If I could do anything differently about any of them, would be planning ahead and doing something completely different, at least on my arms, the top of my arms. So now my piercings, because this kind of goes side by side. When I think my mom said when I was 2, she pierced my ears and nothing would stay in my ears. I guess I reacted, like I got infected. I did not like anything. She tried stainless steel, nickel plated, plastic, 24 karat. She tried everything. My ears got infected, so she had to take them out and leave them out. Well, growing up, and I don't think she knows this, so if my mom ends up watching this, and she'll know, so hi, I did. I would play in her little jewelry box. I never took anything out or stole anything or moved anything, but I would play with them. She had some really cool bracelets that actually working parts, like the old jewelry, like a sewing machine opened and a little like thing, I don't know, there was like moving parts. I loved looking at her little charms and trying it on, and one ear never closed. So I'd put one of her earrings in and look just from the side, thinking I was all cute and pretty as a kid, and this one never closed. So in 9th grade, I went to Wisconsin to live with my dad temporarily for I think 5 or 6 months. When I came back to live back with my mom in California, I went to Claire's, and they do, you know, the 2 earrings with the gun. So I did my top hole down here, and I did this one, since this one was already open, and I put an earring in it, so I had all 3. So then a little bit later, I went back and I did my 2 holes here. Well, one day I was sitting at the dinner table, my mom's like, looks over, why'd you take your earring out? I'm like, what? I didn't. She's like, yes, you did. I'm like, no, I didn't. And I could feel 2 backs, and she kept telling me I did. I'm getting aggravated because I can feel it. So I felt the front, and I'm like, oh. It got so infected and so inflamed that it literally sucked the ball in my ear. So the back I could feel the back. I knew it was there, but the front, you couldn't see it because it was inside of my ear. So I had to run to the bathroom, use another earring, poked a hole, pushed it out, pulled it out, and then I just left it out. Then I think like a week later, I was outside with my dogs running around, and I felt like, uh-oh, this one did it too. So I ran back in, did the same thing, but this time I put a hoop in it. so it could heal, because as it was getting too fat, being infected, that if I put a hoop on it, it could move and do what it needed to do, and it actually healed. So I pierced the second one myself. Then I was in sewing class, I think ninth or 10th grade. I was in sewing class and looked at my friend. I'm like, I feel like putting another hole in my ear. I want another hole. She's like, what? I grabbed him out of my backpack, just pushed him in, pushed him in. Cool, had a third hole. Then one time when I was in Wisconsin, my sister didn't believe me, so I grabbed earrings and I just pushed them in, so I had my fourth hole. Then I went to the earring store and I had a second one up here, and then I put this one in. Well, when I moved to Florida, I ended up taking out 7 total. I took out my tongue, which I got pierced when I was 19 years old. And I took that out now 5 years ago. And then I got my eyebrow pierced, which I wish because then you can see the scar. And that, I mean, it's healed. You can't put anything in there, but now I have this scar right here. So one thing another regret is, I mean, I loved it pierced, but I don't now love the after effect that I'm gonna have the scar probably for the rest of my life. And that part I really wish I didn't. But when I came out here again, I took out 7. So I took out my tongue, I took out my eyebrow, and I took all the other ones out of my ears. So I took like 3 from here and like 2 from here, and that's what I left it at. I completely forgot about my nose ring. I think it was the end of 2014. It was before I moved to Florida, and I was sitting at work. I just hung up the phone with a customer, and I just touched my nose, and I was pinching it, and I was pinching it hard, thinking like, how would this be if I pierced it? And I texted my cousin, the one I got the matching tattoos with, and I was like, hey, do you want to get your nose pierced with me? And she's like, hell yeah, let's do it. So I think that night even, that night or that weekend, it was like very fast. We got together, me, her, and her daughter. We all got it done at the same time. Oh.
It's a little uncomfy, but that's it. There's that eyebrow. Sorry.
My eyes watering.
This high pain color.
She said she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all good in the hood. You can't even feel the.
I did.
Oh, don't cry.
You cry because of chocolate bunny? And this one I absolutely love. I would not take that one out. I just think it's so cute, just something dainty. Every now and then I'll put a hoop in it, but they tend to move, and I don't want it to move and get in the middle, because I hear reading up on it that your nose piercing is like the most adaptable. So if I were to take it out very quickly, it's gonna start, the membranes are gonna start filling back in, and if you put something in like smaller, it'll go back to it. So if you try to put something in bigger, you're gonna have to force it in. It just, basically it's the most easily adaptable, but if it's in the middle, it could start closing like quickly. So I normally just end up leaving this in there all the time, but I love this. And yeah, I was thinking of getting like the piercing right here. I think they're called the Marilyn Monroe or the Monroe, whatever. Getting that pierced because I think that looks really cute. But my friend reminded me that the underneath would rub on my teeth, and I do not want nothing happening to my teeth. Now with your tongue being pierced, I've witnessed it hitting somebody's back of their teeth, and both of their teeth got loose, and so I'm like, I do not want that to happen. So I put a shorter barbell on mine like right away, and still would hit every now and then. So I mean, I'm glad I did take it out, because I know now, being my age, that your teeth are your most important thing, and you definitely want your real teeth in as long as you can. And I mean, I just went through a root canal and a bridge, and I do not want anything to happen. I want my teeth that are in my mouth to stay this way, like anything and everything. So I don't want any other piercings or anything to affect my teeth in any way. So I'm done with piercings. I mean, plus I'm getting too old for it, but I am definitely not done with tattoos. That I'm gonna keep going for a while, because I love them. I love being colorful. I love expressing, you know, art on me, and I just love it. So that is my video of my tattoo tour and what piercings that I have ever had. And yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you will be notified when I do upload new videos. And upcoming, when I do get any of these fixed or covered up or anything like that, I will give you guys updates. But at least now you know what I have started on now, and then in the future when I keep adding to it, you'll see too. So until next time, you guys, thanks for watching and smile.